there's a sort of almost a lazy, benign attitude on the part of the current government. Technically they subscribe to the need to put more into national security, but it's not something of the heart. It's not something that comes naturally. Now, rightly or wrongly, governments of the coalition persuasion in Australia have given a higher priority to defence. And if you look at what the current government is supporting, it's talking a lot about AUKUS. Well, AUKUS would not have happened under a Labor government, let's be honest. They're Johnny-come-latelys on that issue. And we hear a lot about the Quad. Well, I think the Quad, terrific idea. America, Japan, Australia and India. I mean, it's great that at long last India has joined. I mean, it's one of the eternal frustrations I had in the early years I followed world politics, how indifferent the Indians were, almost to the point of being pro-Soviet. I remember once having a discussion with an Indian Prime Minister. He was then my counterpart. And he said to me in his very thoughtful way, he's a very reflective Sikh gentleman, wonderful man. He said, you know, Prime Minister, Australia and India have a lot in common. I said, yes, we play a great game together and we speak a wonderful language. And but he said, we haven't had much to do with each other. And he said, why has that been so? And I said, well, have you forgotten that for the first 30 or 40 years after independence, India almost always backed the Soviet Union when there was an argument internationally? And he thought for a while and said, point taken. Yeah. And they did. Now, there were reasons, but you do tend to look at the world a bit in terms of who's in what team. And they were certainly not. And I put a great store on the fact that we've got India and Japan and Australia and as well as the United States. And so obviously the Quad. Well, I always thought the Quad came out of what was the Trilateral Security Dialogue. And that was a security dialogue between Japan and Australia and America. It had a meeting in Canberra at the time of the APEC meeting in 2007, which was the last significant meeting that your and my government hosted in Australia before we were given our marching orders. And we did leave the field.
Yes.
We didn't like it, but we left it.
The umpire ruled and
the umpire ruled and we left.